Hey, it's Soul with another video, and today, well, we're going to give kind of an update on what is the status of Mythic Plus. There seems to be quite a few changes going on. I took a quick glance at it, but I want to read through this with you and try to understand and try to come together with some clear and concise thoughts if possible. If you don't mind, like the video, subscribe for more content, and I want to encourage folks, even if you're not very interested in Mythic Plus, even if you think this may not affect you very much, I feel it's important to share even with the more casual sorts of crowd, just in case it is something that is preventing folks from feeling interested in a game mode like this. It's something that I am not, this is not the number one thing that I do. In fact, I haven't done any in a while, but, knowing that, there might be small improvements to the game, that's always a good thing. So let's just get right into it, okay? All right, greetings, they say. We've been watching everyone play Mythic Plus on the PTR and monitoring feedback, and we wanted to take a moment to share some thoughts on where things are at. Overall, we're seeing a lot of the type of gameplay we'd hope to see from our updated level 7 affixes, but we also see room to improve and are looking to make a number of changes for our next round of testing based on player feedback. It's kind of a lot, I think, sort of. Okay. So, first, Afflicted, which is the one where you gotta cleanse people, it now has less health, and it has more consistent spawn behavior. Their notes are that the Afflicted Affix is meant to incentivize a greater focus on Dispel utility, while also offering players with healing spells an alternative solution in cases where Dispel availability is more limited or where other enemies have threatening Dispellable abilities. Now, this is mostly working out, but their health, especially at higher key levels, is a bit too high for healing to feel like a practical option. Okay? So, hopefully they'll just adjust that. Okay, Incorporeal, which is the one where you gotta crowd control them, they're now immune to damage and has more consistent spawn behavior. Now I wonder what that exact, well, let me read the rest and I'll comment on it. So the Incorporeal Affix plays a similar role to Afflicted, but with emphasis on crowd control utility. A few things we're hoping to smooth out include both the rate at which these spawn, sometimes there's too many at once, which I believe the maximum number is like 3 or 4, and the ease with which crowd control can be accidentally broken up once applied. We're discussing a change to incorporeal beings that would cause them to fade away when combat with non-incorporeal beings has ended. Well, hopefully that's something that's going to go through. Now, the thought here is wanting to make them immune to damage. Now, the hope that I kind of have here is that if they're immune to damage, then that means CC cannot be broken. Now, the idea here is that, okay, cool, the things have spawned, let's throw some CC on them, and then for the most part, forget about it. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. That way, even if they happen to be hard CC or something like that, or sheeped in the middle of a fight, a big melee where all this AoE damage is going out, then hopefully it won't break sheep or hex or any other similar thing. And then they'll be effectively disabled. That would be helpful, I think. An explosive now has less health, good, and more consistent spawn behavior. We've heard feedback that both explosives in their new form have too much health, yes, and that in general it makes sense to try and ignore them, thus making them a healer problem in a different way than before. We're discussing a redesign for the explosive affix to shift responsibility away from healers. The proposed change would cause explosives to instead shield creatures for a percentage of the explosive's remaining health when its cast completes. Oh, that's smart, right? I think it's kind of smart. I think it's kind of a clever way to, again, like what they're saying. They're shifting the responsibility away from the healer, putting it almost entirely away from the healer, actually, and putting it all on the damage dealers and tanks to try to kill those things or line of sight them. Wait, so what we're kind of doing now is instead of line of sighting ourselves to get away from the explosive, we would kind of attempt to line of sight mobs. So that's gonna feel kind of awkward, and I feel like the better thing to do would be to just like pump and then just go nuts. Now I wonder, like, because this applies absorbs, would things like warriors, their special attack, would that have some greater significance? Probably not. I think the intention is still, for the most part, to blow up explosives. Now, the concern that I still have on this is that, okay, cool, explosives have less health, but it feels like teaming, right? They're teaming mobs where you have to suddenly focus on these explosives or else. Or you want to try to line of sight the mobs and, hopefully they'll move or else. So it's going to be a different sort of frustrating, but at least it takes that stress off of the healer. But it's gonna just shift the problem from one thing to the next, and it's going to make that annoyance to a little bit different. Anyway, moving on. Entangling, we're keeping an eye on the potency of the snare and required response from players to successfully snap the vine with movement. We're looking to improve visual clarity and audio cues for the entangling fix. Someone's gonna make a weak aura. Someone probably already did. You have the thing. Or, DBM will say so. So add-on wise, people are going to figure it out. That's not something that we need to trip over. It's just whatever is in there initially. Will a sound be adequate? Maybe not, because not everyone plays with the sound. Is a stronger visual cue going to work better? It's only going to work so well, because there's going to be, even with a smaller group of 5 people, there's still going to be a lot of action going on, a lot of spell effects that people may want to have on, and something like this is going to be a little bit tougher to see. Maybe if instead of like plant-like snares, they're like mystical magic snares that like glow or something. I don't know. Could be something like that. All right, keystone affixes. Okay. In addition to the above, we're also discussing a change to the progression of affixes on keystones. With item rewards now increasing up to level 20, we're evaluating which levels affixes are added to keystones. Our proposed change would delay when affixes are added to keystones. Ooh, so this is to give more players more time to acclimate to baseline changes before additional mechanics come online, and to better match the complexity of Mythic Plus Dungeon to the rewards that it offers. So keystones would gain their second affix at level 7, up from level 4. So 0 through 6, nothing. 7, you start to see Spiteful, Raging, Bursting, Bolstering, and Sanguine. Okay. Keystones would gain their third effects at level 14, up from level 7, which includes Afflicted, Incorporeal, Explosive, Entangling. So that's huge. Okay. So I happen to have my chart up because I'm so good. So level 7 keys. What does a level 7 key get for us right now? So right down here, end of dungeon reward, level 7 keys get us item level 411 gear. Now this is based on the chart that we've gotten from Blizzard. So this is the most current information. This is not exactly speculative, but not final. Level 7 key gives you 411 gear and will get you item level 424 gear from the vault. Whoop-de-doo. Key level 14 is this, and this will drop 421s. Right from the thing. So when you start getting this third affix, it'll drop 421s, and you will start getting 437 gear from the vault. And so starting at 14, 15, 16, 17, or something like that. I'm not remembering too well anymore. This is my own chart, shucks. You start to see the items that will help craft for you mythic level gear, 441s. Still not my best chart, but okay, cool. I put this here, 16 and higher keys. we'll start dropping like the really good stuff that'll let you craft that'll let you craft like the highest level crafted things up to 447. So that's quite, dare I say, good. They're, instead of making things easier, they're just raising the bar, or lowering the bar, something like that, to make some of these better rewards possible. So starting at a 14 is when you're going to even see that third affix. This is down from when you used to see it at like 7. That's kind of what it used to be. So that's going to be like a pretty big change. I do wonder if this is going to ultimately raise the level of keys that on average that we're able to clear these days. I think the short answer is yes, but I wonder by how much. But I do like that they're creating like this even bigger band of no affixes. So up to sixes. Up to sixes you get nothing. At when you start at seven, yeah, starting at key level seven, you'll see either spiteful or raging or bursting or bolstering or sanguine. And you're gonna see that all the way up until key level 13, which is pretty generous. Without knowing exactly how Mythic Plus score is going to be changed, if at all, that's going to make the likes of Keystone Master not feel like very much a master. I mean, Mythic Plus is pretty difficult content. Don't get me wrong. I struggle with it like on the regular. But it definitely feels like they're kind of lowering the bar there, and just kind of inflating things. But they're also spreading it out, so that way the skill band is just bigger. There's a bit more of a range for skilled players to be like, oh, I'm hitting the wall, versus, yep, let's keep going. But for now, I'm kind of gassed. I'm curious to hear what you folks think about this, because this feels pretty significant. This feels like the really big change. These are going to be iterative improvements on the affixes, and people will continue to debate on the very merits of what these affixes mean. The whole philosophy behind it. But this is my takeaway. These new requirements. This feels big. And it feels pretty exciting. And it feels like keys are going to be slightly easier at certain levels. So let me know what you guys think in the comment below. That's all I got. You guys have a great rest of your thing. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.